Right, starting with this one. So simplifying root 32. So what we need to do when we're simplifying a surd is look for a square factor. So you might spot that 32 is made up of 4 times 8. So you might be writing this 4 times 8. And then you'd simplify the square root 4 to get 2 root 8. So the most common incorrect answer was question A. Now, the reason it's not correct is because it's not fully simplified. So I'm going to write that on there. Not fully simplified. It does actually equal root 32. So what's gone wrong is we haven't found the largest square factor. So 32 is also made up of 16 times 2. Now, 16 being a bigger square factor than the number 4. So we can square root 16 to get 4. Square root 2 to get root 2. So we can see that B is the correct answer. So A, not fully simplified. B is correct. Where does C come from? Well, just not concentrating. If you've square rooted a 16, then that one has been square rooted. There is no square root sign anymore. You can't square root the number 2 and get an exact answer, so we leave it as root 2. So this is not having good concentration. D, you've done the hard part. You found the square number that makes up 32, but you've forgotten to square root it. All right, so another very common misconception. Next one, so this is going backwards, taking the 2 inside the square root. Now, let's write down the rule. So root A times root B equals the square root of A times B. So if I want to work backwards, if I want to take something outside of a square root, I have to square root it. So if I want to put it back in, I have to square it. So the most common incorrect answer was B, just thinking you do 2 times 11 to get 22, so it must be root 22. But of course, we need to square the number 2. So the correct way to do it would be 2 squared times by 11, going inside the square root, which would give you root 44. So this one is the correct answer. Next one. So similarly to the last one, if you want to take everything inside a surd, you'd have to square this number, get 16 times 3, if you wanted to times it by 6. For us, what we want to do is make sure that we've followed the surd laws, which says if you want to multiply a surd, then they must both be surds to start with. So we would get 4 root 3 times 6 is 18. Now you can see that the answer A is 4 root 18. That's not the correct answer because it is not fully simplified. So I'm going to write that on there. It's the same, it means the same, but it's not finished. If you type that into your calculator, it would simplify it further. Now that's because 18 has got a square factor. So 18 is made up of 9 times 2. So the square root of 18 is 3 root 2, square rooting the 9. And we need 4 of them. So I need to do 4 times 3 root 2. So there's only one surd in the answer, in the question rather. So we're not going to do anything with the root 2. We are going to multiply 4 and 3 together to get 12. So it's 12 root 2 is the correct answer. Last one, if we want to rationalize again and simplify fully, this is the key word, it's fully simplifying, so spotting when we can finish it. So to rationalize, we multiply top and bottom by the square root that's on the bottom. Multiply them together, that would give us root 75 over 15. Now you can see that that is option D. That was the most common incorrect answer. Again, it's not fully simplified. I'm just going to put it's not finished. So let's take a look at root 75. That is made up of 25 times 3. We can square root 25 to get 5 root 3. So root 75 over 15 is actually 5 root 3 over 15. And we can cancel by 5 so that I get root 3 over 3. So 5 goes into 15 3 times. So the correct answer is in fact C.